Today, I'll be talking about my thoughts on Itaewon Class. Overall, I thought the drama was pretty good. I did see some differing opinions, so I saw a lot of people who really liked the drama and said it's one of their favorites, and I also saw some people who were a little disappointed by the drama. I would say I'm in the middle of the pack. So Itaewon Class is not going to go into my list of favorite dramas, but I thought it was decent and it was everything that I thought it would be. I wouldn't personally rewatch it, but I think it's worth watching at least once. The reason why it won't be one of my favorite dramas is that the villains felt a little bit one-dimensional. And I get that that's what Itaewon Class is going for, but personally, that's not the style I like to see. I prefer dramas where the villains are human in a way. You can kind of understand why they became that way. I wasn't hooked on the first two episodes, but I thought the drama picked up after that. And especially when we saw everyone working together at Tamban, that was where the drama really started to pick up for me. Overall, I thought the drama was quite idealistic, just like the way Park Sero-yi was portrayed. Because I felt that although we did see some of his struggles in terms of his father dying or just some of the struggles he had like while trying to grow the restaurant, overall it felt like his successes came really fast. And again, I understand it's because of the story, like they wanted to show and they had a lot to get to in terms of the plot, but that wasn't really realistic in my eyes. One other reason I didn't like this drama that much was because I didn't really buy into the romance aspect for this drama in particular. It's not that I don't like romance dramas, I do, but I didn't feel like the romance aspect was really necessary, or I didn't want to see too much of it in this drama. Like, to me, this drama was more about revenge than romance. And I guess, like, because it is based off of a shonen type manhwa, it makes sense to have some kind of romance in there, but for me, that was like a weaker plot line. And if they didn't have it at all, I would still be happy with that. In terms of the actors and the cast, I thought they all did a really good job on this drama. First of all, Park Seo-joon did an excellent job as Park Se-roi, and especially I felt like his character was a bit similar to the one he had in Fight for My Way, but he did bring like new depth to this character as well. Yoo Jae-myung is the actor who played the father, Jang Dae-hee, and he did a really good job in this role. I previously saw him before in Stranger/Secret Forest, and he was amazing there as well, but I think what he brought to this role was actually he seemed much older, and I don't know if it was because of the makeup or also the way he was acting, but I think it was totally believable that he was a chairman and he did a really good job in his performance. In terms of the supporting cast, I saw a lot of them before in other dramas. So, first of all, Nara, who played Suwa this time, I saw her in My Mister, Nai Ajushi, and she had a really different character because she was more like ditzy there, but here she was a little bit more serious. Also, An Bohyun, who played Chang Gung-won this time, he was in My Private Life as a love interest. And it was really different to see him here in Itaewon Class because now he's a villain. Also, if you're curious about him as an actor or like his real personality, he recently guested on the variety show I Live Alone. So feel free to check that out if you're interested. Kim Dong-hee, who played Chang Gun-soo, the younger son, was in Sky Castle, and I know he's getting a lot more gigs recently, so I'll probably see him again pretty soon. Lee Joo-young, who played Hyunhee this time, was in Weightlifting Fairy Kim Bok-ju, and that's a really fun, cute, and positive drama, so if you're looking for something to help you get through these hard times, I'd recommend watching that. If you're interested in finding more about Chris, who played Tony in Itaewon Class, I'd recommend watching DKDK TV's interview with him. It's actually really insightful and you can learn about more about who he is. One thing I was confused by was that the opening scene with Iso and the psychiatrist was never really revisited. And I personally, if there's a scene like that where you show a scene and then you jump back into a flashback, I want to see the scene again and see like how we got there. But they never revisited it, and I'm not sure if it's just because of the drama's pacing, like they didn't have time for that, or if it was also never revisited in the webtoon as well. But I was confused by the timing just because in that scene, it seems like Yuso's already working for Tanbam, but I'm not sure, like, they never showed her, like, getting mental help or anything, so I would have liked to see the lead up to that scene. In terms of the smaller storylines within this drama, I thought the transgender storyline, Hyunhee's story, was really, really good. And although it was a bit corny for the I'm a Diamond scene, it was really powerful when I watched it. There's a lot of really great quotes and scenes from Itaewon Class, and I'll just point out a few that I really enjoyed. The first one is when Park Se-roi was at the police station and Chung Kyung-won came by and kind of like sarcastically offered him his help. Like, if you want, if you just apologize to me, I'll help you. And then Yiso confronted him and was like, why are you being so stubborn? Like, why not just accept his help this one time? And Park Se-roi says like, just this one time? No, it won't be just this one time. There will be other times. And most importantly, accepting help just this once can change your life completely. And I think Miso called him out for being idealistic, or there was a line somewhere where someone said Park Se-roi was idealistic, and yes, that is incredibly true. But at the same time, it's precisely because he's idealistic and he says those kinds of things that we really admire him. And he can be a kind of role model in a way. I understand in real life, there's definitely more circumstances. And sometimes, even if you really want to be stubborn and go your own way, you can't do it just because money is a factor or something else. I think Park Se-roi represents an ideal state where, as long as we try hard enough and stick to our own beliefs, we can make it. I also really like the story about the watch, his dad's watch, and how it was actually his dad who developed the recipe, but the chairman took credit for that. And unfortunately, in real life, we see that all too much. And I don't know if it's possible, but I hope we'll start to see less of that later on. Midway through the show, Sua asked Park Se-ri, "What if you're done with revenge? Will you be happy then?" And for me, I thought that was quite profound because it brought home the point of the hedonic treadmill. So like you're going towards your goal, whether that's revenge or like getting a promotion or more money, but you just keep going and you'll never be happy even when you achieve the goal because you'll just want more and more and more. It's also important because Seroi tried to keep his pride. He didn't want to ask for help. But there is a line between asking for help from someone who you really don't like, for example, the Jiang family, but also accepting help from someone who's just kind of like a third party or neutral, like the investors. And I think in the end, he made the right decision by like asking for help from the investors and being able to grow his business that way. But still, he was able to keep true to himself and not work for Changga or not help them in any way. Seroi tried to keep his pride by not asking for money, but sometimes you do have to make sacrifices to get more freedom in the end. I was really surprised because there was news reports that they were still filming the week of the last episode. So it was quite tight on the live filming schedule. And personally, I think it must be so tough no matter if you're an actor or you're on the crew or like editing, it must be so tough to be on a live filming schedule. And I really wish more dramas, more Korean dramas, could go to like a pre-filming schedule. But I don't really know too much about the industry there, so they must have reasons for keeping the live filming. In terms of the OST lineup, I thought this drama had a pretty strong lineup, although not the strongest I've ever seen. So, of course, Shijak by Gaho was just the perfect song to start and end the drama with. And also, there are some other notable contributors like Ha Hyun-woo, Kim Feel, and Defense. On the screen, I'm showing the OSTs I personally really liked from this drama. And of course, it helps when you have V from BTS doing an OST for your drama. What did you all think of Itaewon Class? Was it one of your favorite dramas? Or did you also have some reservations about it? Let me know in the comments below. Thank you again for watching and stay tuned for more content about Korean dramas and also Korean variety shows. See you again.